Va salute. This is Troy Pacelli of Last Call. Here to let you know the following live stream is rated R for adult language, highly inappropriate jokes, and oh, who the are we kidding? We have no idea what is going to come out of our mouth. Is advised.
Pull up a chair, let the real talk start. Politics and pop culture straight from the heart. From the good old days to what's breaking today, we debate it all, we don't run away. Now Twitter fingers throw checks side, now big war for guilt right. We speak our minds, yeah, we say it out loud. Throw a little shade, but we keep it proud. Welcome to the Silverback Lounge, where the real ones talk and the truth goes round. Chat stays lit and the sun stays strong, even though we never stay on topic long. We debate just a bit, but it's all over when we're ending it. Pull up a seat, come bounce. Silverback Lounge. 1 minute policy, next minute memes. Back to the 90s and hoop dreams. Hockey's flying but respects the code. We build it up while the jokes get bold. Yeah, we might toss an insult or two, but if you laugh with us, we laugh with you. Welcome to the Silverback Lounge, where the life stays live and the talk's profound. Best chat on the net and we sit proud, even when nobody stays on topic loud. Politics, culture, past, present, now. So tune in, turn it up, come bounce. Have the Silverback Lounge.
And hello, everyone, and welcome to another Silverback Lounge, where I don't know where everybody's at. You got our resident werewolf. So, welcome, Charlotte. Nice to our werewolf. Welcome, welcome. Come on up here, Charlotte. Let's have a chat about whatever. There, because I didn't have anything really planned, because whenever I do have something planned I want to talk about, either people don't know anything about it, or that I can never keep them on topic. There's a reason why we never stay on topic long. You're not Charlotte. I asked for Charlotte.
I wasn't here. I just got back a minute ago. Just got in the door.
Hey, baby.
Well, not bad. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right there.
I just want to let you know, though.
Ibuprofen's a miracle drug. I'll tell you that right now.
You're on a miracle drug?
Yeah, ibuprofen. It's a miracle drug.
So you had a headache earlier.
Not back pain.
Oh, back pain. Well, that sucks
Upper
too.
back pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you
I'll
know
get
that no matter what topic you want to talk about, I don't want to talk about it. Remember your opening comment?
I know you.
People never want to talk about what you post.
What am I wrong? I had one topic. You guys went. I can't remember what it was now. You guys went shut up about it for 3 weeks. So I dedicated an entire stream to it.
Wow.
You guys wanted to talk about everything but that topic.
Jeez, I don't remember that. Gosh.
Oh, that was quite a few months ago.
Hey, if you want to pick any topic, I don't
to...
care. I don't have anything in mind. So if you want to pick any topic that you're thinking about, go for it, man.
Yeah, though I'm still trying to. I gotta go back through habitual line crossers, old videos there, because it's like 9-10 months ago. he has this character called Uncle Buff. There, he's he's a B-52 bomber and shit picture, and then he has like the eye slits in the mouth. This guy's fucking hilarious to listen to, and he gives shit to both sides there. But there was some kind of shooting or stabbing. I can't remember what it was. It was really big in the news, and Uncle Buff's like, it's time to play all everybody's favorite guy, trans, minority, or I can't remember the rest of the joke.
Huh. Yeah, there's a couple of jokes years ago I wish I could remember. My buddy Jim, rest his soul, back in the 70s when we were teenagers, sometimes his parents would go out to their lakeside cabin. So I'd go over there on the weekend, and he would get into the old man's liquor cabinet, of course, right? And he would take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, so the old man wouldn't notice an ounce or two gone from each bottle. And he told this hilarious joke when we were half shocked. He told a great joke about a monkey smoking a brick. But it's a two-part joke. You tell the first part, it sets it up, and then you wait for like maybe 15 minutes till the person's forgotten about it. And then you tell the second half of the joke, and that's the punchline. And it was absolutely hilarious, but for the life of me, I cannot remember it.
See, what you got to do, PvP, is just take all the whiskey out of a bottle there, then just replace it with fermented apple juice.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Mikey, and hey, Sit Dan.
Hey,
Yeah,
Sit
hey,
Dan.
Hi, Mikey. Hi, Dan.
Hey, PvP. Hey, Babyface Gorilla.
So we got the usual
All right,
lineup.
let's catch up on the chat. I do got a topic I do want to talk about.
Good.
Yeah, so Mikey gave us the Jim's Landscape Parade. Welcome. Yeah. And hey, Kevin, how's it going? Welcome.
Hi, Jim. Hi, Kevin. Hi, a booger.
Booger. I got to say it right. Booger.
The Grand Poobah of YouTube.
Yes, he's a great man. He and Christine are a wonderful couple.
Hey, God, you're about as bad as a boss. He calls me a fucking baby face and all that. It's gonna. I fucking shaved one time, and everybody has to give me shit about it.
I didn't give you shit. I didn't say anything.
Well,
I've had a few ladies say I'm a lot more fuckable now that I shaved it, actually cleaned up.
You mean you're more bonable? Really? Bonafide?
Bonerific.
Well, using that lady shaver really took out Gorilla's feminine side, so the women are really.
I know he's using a $1 lady shaver that he did for his beard and shit.
It's not $1.80. It's 10 for a buck. It's 10.
I
10
said it was $1. $1 lady shaver. I didn't say $1.80. I said $1 lady shaver. Get it right, Gorilla. Get it right.
$1. It costs 10 cents.
That's what it said. They probably cost 10 cents.
Yeah, but you called it $1 one. But it gave me the better shave than any Gillette or fucking Axe 5 shavers ever given me.
I want to mention about somebody used my razor.
Yeah.
Is Mikey using
Mikey's busted.
Is Mikey using Suzanne's lady shavers?
Okay, so I'm trying to guess now. He's got his beard. What the hell was he shaving? Because it wasn't his face.
You don't want to know.
I'll leave that to your imagination there. Hey,
no.
I'll leave that to your imagination.
I thought that'd be one of the rare times when Mikey would actually be
next
quiet.
Next year I've got 69 with your name on it, PvP. You be nice.
The way you said that is kind of disturbing.
It is disturbing,
especially when you said
that old.
I got 69 with your name on it. It's like, what are you talking about, bud?
I made it.
Why am I having deja vu?
Because you're turning 69 next year.
I'm having flashbacks to the movie Queer here. Should I let you two go at it here?
Oh,
Oh, is that?
go back to your cooking, Gorilla.
Yeah, it's like should we step out of the room to let Gorilla and let Mikey and PvP go at it?
Oh man,
no necessary. No need. No need.
not necessary to that. Oh jeez.
Oh god.
All right. Let's see. I remember all sorts of joke books as a kid, but I can't remember. Yeah, exactly. I gotta go find the video because it's a freaking hilarious joke. It's so on point for what's going on in the world. When something happens, I'll give you 3 guesses who did it.
The other beard. Your booger says.
Yeah.
I said, Dan, I love you, but I want you to shave your hair off.
Do you mean just my goatee or
I
everything?
just watched a parody video of
no.
Hey there, Delilah, about Star Trek Evolution called Hey there, Ilya.
Right?
Now I seen another one. It's a guy who does parody videos. He did one that's the guy singing in the bar. He did a very funny one of the it's to the tune of the record of the Fitzgerald, but it's called that whore from I think it's called the whore from Detroit or something like that.
Wow.
Wow.
I really should take a listen to that. Because I think Having the Fitzgerald is one of the great songs ever written personally.
Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah. That guy was damn good. And, I almost could have seen him like 5 years ago on his last tour when he played my city here. But I was flat broke at the time and I couldn't afford a ticket.
Wow.
Yeah, it hurts. But yeah, gee, I don't know.
All right, so it's going pretty good, the girl. So let's keep Kevin. Yeah, is that shaver you use on a dollar lady? Oh, hey, trust me, I don't go for the dollar ladies. I'm a little bit more. Hey, I may be white trash, but I'm a little bit classier than that. It was the other beard, says Booger.
The other beard.
One of the greatest of the aptly named story songs. All right,
Yes.
I'll see if I can. I'll
and
find it.
the other one I miss is Alice's Restaurant by Arlo Guthrie, which is another one of those story songs.
And then they made that into a movie, didn't they?
Yeah, eventually they did. Yes.
Don't hear much of old Arlo anymore. Is he still kicking?
I can hear the neighbor's
dog. I don't know
dog.
if he is alive or not. No, I think Arlo passed a while
I can hear
back.
the neighbor's dog through the fucking.
Well, go get the neighbor's dog then. No, Dan, I was gonna ask you, have you ever gone bald headed before?
No, I haven't.
I see. Okay. I was curious.
I wouldn't want to go bald headed. I think my head's too lumpy. Some people have that perfect Mr. Clean, some people have that perfect Mr. Clean head that looks great. And other people like me got a few bumps here and there, little bumps on your head. Because a lot of people have those, right? Most people don't have a perfect head.
Yes.
And I would feel weird if I shaved it off my hair.
Yeah, and PvP, if you do have a bumpy head, you gotta be careful the way you shave it, because if you don't shave it right, you may cut your skin on your head.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I was going to go that drastic, I'd probably just go to the barbershop. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I put the song in there. One of the greatest of the aptly named story songs. I remember the year Gordon Lightfoot, they rang the church bell one extra time at the annual.
Oh, I see.
I know that. Yeah, I remember that. There. The other great was Jim Croce.
Yeah, Jim Croce, right?
But one thing One thing I want to talk about. Did you guys hear about that guy over in England that was stabbed and the police arrested him? And he bled out.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised because I was working all day, but I did take a quick look at the YouTube during my lunch break, and there was something about a mob of British people are getting fed up because they were basically protesting against anti-white policing. It's not just anti-British now. Now
Yeah,
the
well,
cops
what
are going
happened?
after white people.
This, this happened
Big up.
a while ago. Um,
There
it
was
just
there was
started
also
picking up the news there.
I was going to ask Dan. Dan, wasn't there a story that came out a little while ago out of Bakersfield, California? Some guy had strapped a bomb to his body or whatever. He was holding up a bank, and he got caught. So he was holding up the bank, and something was going on there. I heard.
Anyway,
I haven't looked up or heard of that story, but I would not be surprised given how crazy California is over here.
Yeah, you had your elections going on today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear about the guy that got stabbed.
Yeah,
If Gorilla can finish that.
Yeah, sure. Just saying there are a few.
Yeah, I was just about to say. See that made my point right there. No, that's kid 18 years. He was 18 years old. And he was stabbed by a Sikh Indian there. And you're not even allowed to have blades longer than 3. I think it's 3 inches in England there, but unless it's for religious purposes. There,
Of course.
and he got.
And what religion has the blades because of due to their religion? Take a guess, guys.
This sounded like he was a Hindu, like a Hindu there.
Well, I know some of the East Indians carry their ceremonial daggers, which I think personally should be illegal. I mean, a knife is a knife is a knife. I don't care.
Yeah,
if I form my own religion and said, "Oh, I can walk around carrying a live hand grenade," I'm pretty sure the authorities would not go for it.
Booger said there was a famous story of a guy that
his name was Henry Nowak. His name was Henry Nowak. Say his name, but this is the the reason this is making news is the problem there is that I think he was leaving a bar there, and for some reason he got into an altercation. He might have accidentally bumped this guy, for all we know, and the person chased after him, stabbed him in the back of the leg, then stabbed him a couple other times there. Then the guy who stabbed him called the police and said that this person there is a racial thing. They made some racial comments at him. I'll put 21 odds that this kid did not say a fucking thing like that. They know that they can get away with this shit if they can.
The thing is,
claim racism.
The thing is, there's 2 of them. One of them has stab wounds. Which one do you think is the victim? But the cops are too dumb now in England to figure out the guy with the multiple stab wounds is the victim.
I'll show you. I can show you the freaking body cam here. Here, he said he's been stabbed, and the police said, "I don't believe you." They didn't even bother fucking checking him. I guarantee you, if he was fucking black there, they would have checked him there.
They didn't see any blood.
I don't know how well my computer's gonna play this, but we're gonna.
But they didn't even see the blood. Like how? Are these cops blind?
There's your fucking.
Well, we have terrible governments in a lot of Western countries. And this is another example of that.
Yeah. Sir, I'll play this. This is the Al Jazeera shared the body cam footage.
And He's grabbed my brother. He's took my turban off.
Hand.
Oh, I can't breathe.
Put the hand in the cup. What's happened to you, alright?
Been stabbed.
You've been stabbed? Whereabouts? Don't think you have, mate.
Why don't they look? Fuck, talk about useless
Are
cops.
you injured?
Yeah, I've got swollen eye, a little bruise.
Alright, just step back a little bit for me. He's saying he's been stabbed, so
Where
let's
is
just
he
check him.
being stabbed? In the face? Oh no, but we have to check, don't we?
This is sad.
He'll be sick, I think.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah, we've got this male. He's just been beat up. Are we able to get an ambulance, please? His pupils aren't even reacting.
I could have done without the shitty distracting music. To be
That's
honest.
from Al Jazeera. Check them out, even though I don't like them, but we'll check them.
So
But
Al Jazeera, the propaganda arm
they
of
said
Middle
he's been
East.
stabbed, and they said, no. I think he's East Indian. But it's like, they said, I think you've been stabbed. No, I don't think you have been. Won't bother checking. They don't render any aid, and the fucking police apologize on behalf of the fucking sheik there that did this, that fucking stabbed him. This is all over a fucking racial comment. Come on now. No, but look at this. So I had to sit there and watch my country go up in flames there when George Floyd overdosed on fentanyl there. And they were being very accommodating. When he was saying he couldn't breathe, they couldn't breathe. They're being very accommodating to him, and they even put him on the ground, which he asked to be on the ground there. Then we get to they did everything they can. We watched this country go up in flames. We had to see him getting carried around in a fucking golden coffin all around the country there. We had mayor's fake crying in front from his fucking casket, But do we even hear a peep of the center? No, you hear 5 minutes. They've heard 5 minutes of it on the news. Then it's off there. Yeah, we're still listening to about George Floyd 6 fucking years later now.
Well, I got a prize one for you here
Yeah.
in BC. I haven't watched the video yet because it just got posted today while I was working, but I did notice it. A BC court judge. Here's the backstory. A woman. I'll wait till Gorilla's back.
No, I was back. I was just turning the pan on.
Okay, a
I was
BC,
here. I was just listening.
a British Columbia court judge had a case before him. Now, the case was a man beat a woman in her bedroom with a baseball bat. Beat a woman with a baseball bat. Went to trial. The criminal expressed remorse to the judge, so the woke activist judge reduced his sentence. No concern at all for the victim that got beat out of her with a baseball bat. Now you tell me that the world is making any sense anymore.
Tell me if he was the suspect a female or a male?
I would assume it was a man. Maybe it was a man of a minority group. That might have something to do with it. I don't know because I haven't watched the video yet.
Yeah. Well, the problem with the policing there is, yes, did we do a little bit of over policing for some crimes for a long time, and others maybe not so much? Yes, but why are we at the point where some of these people look at the Irina Zuriski there or whatever Zuriski, the gal over in North Carolina that was stabbed on that train there, from a guy who's been in prison or got arrested 14 times for violent offenses. Why the fuck wasn't he locked behind bars for a long ass time? Or the guy that set that woman on fire in Chirac there, I mean, Chicago. But he was arrested for 72 times. Why wasn't
Yeah,
his fucking ass behind bars for the longest time?
we have the same pattern up here in BC, Gorilla. Like, I think the last estimate I heard, there's about 500 hardcore repeat offenders that have been, booked hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and probably thousands of times. And it's catch and release here, thanks to the federal government, right? You know, the liberals actually passed a law where judges can only impose the minimum sentence on any criminal that's in the court. So it's catch and release.
Oh,
You commit a crime, you could be out on bail the next day. And I don't know how many people are paying attention enough to get really fed up with this garbage, but I am, and I bet a lot of other people. I bet there's a silent majority out there that is slowly, starting to simmer with anger about the nonsense our Western governments are up to in the last few years. Well, you remember the big protest rally they had in England about two weeks ago on the weekend? Just after they had
Tommy Robinson's there.
Yeah.
Glenn Beck actually got to speak at that. They were actually banning a lot of right wing reporters from going over there and reporting on it.
They did.
Sam Piker and Jake Eager are also both banned from entering the UK.
Well, the thing is too, they banned the main guy from Rebel News in Canada here, and Rebel News is far from far right. I mean, they might be. Oh, sure. I mean, they're probably more conservative than liberal, obviously, because they criticize the liberals for all the bad political policies they've inflicted in the last 11 years on us. But he doesn't go around, criticizing and hating on left-wing people. He just points out the things they are doing, and they can stand by what the things they've actually done. He doesn't have to say any more than what the facts are to make them look like what they are. But he got banned. He couldn't go over to the UK. So, but get this, Rebel News sent one of their other reporters over, and she covered the story over in the UK anyway. So they got around it, right? But
yeah, well, I'm surprised they let Glenn Beck over there.
Well, I'm not surprised by anything Starmer does, because I think like our leader, he's so radically inconsistent in his mental capabilities that I don't think the guy knows from one day to the next if it's Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, if you know what I'm saying, right? These guys are imbeciles. And, I'm sure he had a little checklist prepared for him by his underlings. But of course, some of the underlings might not be aware of every name from North America that they should have checked the box for. So
they're out of touch politicians. A lot of them are.
Well, there's just so much crap going on here. Like, I saw another video posted just today that there's some what was the organization? They have looked into Carney's business dealings over the last number of years, and they have accused him of a conflict of interest, which is illegal. I can't remember, Democracy Watch or something. One of these organizations that basically follows what's going on in the political scene, and they've been following Carney for some time, apparently. I have another video I have not watched yet, so I can't really say any more about it until I actually take a look at it. But, there's some things developing. And, there's another one. Rebel News posted today. Carney went to a Jewish center to give a speech. And this is the same guy who last year said, and it went to the Muslim mosque or whatever, the thing they were holding some big big do, and he said Muslim values are Canadian values in that infamous speech he gave. That's still on video floating around. So now he goes to the Jewish center and talks about how anti-Semitism is bad and we need to fight it, blah blah blah. Of course he won't do a damn thing, because they haven't done a damn thing in 11 years, the liberals, about this. While they keep pouring, Muslim immigrants into Canada by the hundreds of thousands. But anyway, it's like, the guy says one thing to one crowd, and then he says the opposite to another crowd. And if you watch Carney's videos enough, month after month after month, there's a definite pattern that evolves where he does speak. He's like so two-faced. He speaks out of both sides of his mouth, depending on who the audience is, and depending on whether he thinks it'll give him a good soundbite for the news.
So you're saying he's always a suck up for votes, in other words?
He just is dishonest. I don't think Carney's got any actual beliefs or values of his own. I think he just plays to whatever audience is in front of him. So he's, can try to, basically he likes to try and sucker people no matter who he's in front of, so he can, gain their support and hopefully get their vote in the next election. I think that's what Carney's basically up to most of the time.
And $5 says Jethro bites gorilla in this stream.
Oh no, he doesn't like the new chair. He doesn't like the new chair.
Why not?
But well, it's not the recliner where you can sit in my lap. But we're gonna catch up on chat skill. There was a famous story of a guy that was a pizza delivery driver who was kidnapped and forced to rob a bank wearing a bomb around his neck. I saw a replica of the bomb at a museum. Cool. There are a couple of sheiks carrying a small dagger to protect the innocent. The Muzzies have been carrying them for so-called honor killings. Oh, gotcha.
Now there's an oxymoron if I ever heard one, right? Honor killings. Yeah, real oxymoron.
Well, how do you define an honorary killing? How do you define
Well,
that?
it's like when a parent murders his daughter because she puts Western clothes on, for instance. It's happened here in Canada. It's happened here in Canada numerous times now. She wants to go out with her teenage friends, so she puts on a pair of blue jeans or something, and she gets murdered for it.
Well, I would say this: if someone unalives a father's child and they kill the murderer, would you consider?
No, but it's the father. The father's the one that does it.
Yeah, but my point, I'm trying to create a scenario where an honorary killing could be acceptable, like a father carrying the killer of his daughter. But I know that's not the scenario that we're talking about. It's just a hypothetical.
No, but that's just revenge. That's not technically an honor killing. An honor killing is within that certain religious community, is what they call it. Basically, what it's referred to as an honor killing. In other words, it's better they kill the girl than have her dishonor herself with Western values.
And
which
Mikey is correct.
Which is one reason I don't like all the illegal immigration coming into the West.
So Mike is correcting Booger's spelling. And welcome, Scurvy. Welcome. He goes, howdy, fruitcakes. And George Floyd has been clean and sober for several years now. Yeah, I've seen that joke going around there.
Isn't he? Didn't they build statues of this clown?
Yes, but it could be a funny joke there. But I was pissed off with the left, the way the left treated Charlie Cook and all the jokes they made about him. So I'm not gonna. So I don't make jokes about the George Floyd or the Renee Good or the Alex Pretty because I would feel like then I'd lose the right to be the outrage about Charlie Kirk there. And really, if you think about it, they're all victims there. Charlie was a victim of assassin's bullet, but Renee Good, Alex Pretty, and George Floyd were victims of their choices.
But the
choices
thing,
there,
and
they were victims of being brainwashed into thinking that being violent there, or the drugs there, or taking the drugs, or swallowing bunch of drugs there to avoid going to jail on it there, which he was a victim of George Floyd was a victim of the medical system there.
There's one big difference though, Gorilla. George Floyd and those other people you mentioned, they had a choice, right? They could have quit
That's why
the drugs.
they're a victim of their choices.
Yes,
I said
yes,
they were a
exactly,
victim of their choices.
exactly. That's the point I wanted to get back to. But Charlie Kirk had no choice. That's the huge difference. He had no choice. He was assassinated.
But
he was assassinated for saying reasonable things to people.
I'm just not. I just try not to. There's very few people who've died that I would make fun of their death of. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I don't think it's productive. That's why I refrain from doing it myself.
Yeah,
there's no point.
I mean, some of the jokes. Don't get me wrong. Some of the jokes are pretty good. Are pretty funny. There. Some of them are pretty brilliant. Like the one George Floyd has been clean and sober for 6 years now, or people telling him congratulations. But it's one of those I refrain from that there because I don't want to sit there and have the argument of being called a hypocrite with my outrage over Charlie Kirk there. Yeah. And while that would,
yeah.
And wow, what would the Me Too movement think of that verdict? Well, PvP, that's your neck of the woods. You know more about the case than I do. That's the baseball bat lady.
Well, I don't know. I haven't watched the video yet, Booger. So I have to watch the details. But basically, the headline was that, BC court judge lessens a sentence of offender, and then I just took a brief look at it. And it was concerning a woman beaten by a baseball bat, and it's like,
Tell me, is the Me Too movement dead, or is it still alive and kicking? I thought it died out a long time ago.
It seems like it's died out quite a bit, actually, in the last couple of years to me, Dan. I haven't noticed it much now.
Well, sit down. No, I'm not saying there's any correlation or causation, but the Me Too movement started dying out about the same time that some of the Democrats started getting accused. Just saying. There may be no correlation or nothing.
Well, the thing is, too, there's some things that have happened. Like, wasn't Johnny Depp accused of stuff that they had to go to court, and eventually he got found not guilty?
No, that was his ex-wife. Is a divorce. Is a fucking nasty divorce there. But no,
that
I'm talking about what's that gal that accused Joe Biden of raping her and all that shit?
Joe Biden? Wow, I didn't think he had the energy for that.
Well, no, this was 20, 30 years ago that it happened.
Oh.
And they covered it up. This is right before he became vice president, and then they covered it up and stuff. And then you got like Eric, you had like Eric Swalwell getting accused, and you had a few others there getting accused.
Yeah,
and welcome LDG hashtag free the net. Welcome.
There, LDG.
And Booger says Chirac is that anywhere near Dearbornistan? Yeah, and if you keep on going, you get to Murderapolis.
And if you keep going,
I just got my official Nick Shirley quality lyric. Oh, nice. He actually started selling those shirts. Nice. So George Floyd riots, lighter topics than usual for the lodge. Oh, don't worry. We'll get ahead of your topics. Scurry, this is always a lighthearted. Well, I just want to have a topic where we can all talk and share ideas and even have arguments and all that. And problem is, seems like everybody wants to be in echo chambers, but we have plenty of arguments here.
This is why I respect and enjoy Gorilla's streams, because he's got the guts to let us, go free range on any topic. And, we try, well, of course, we can cross the line. And if we do, Gorilla will say, hey, maybe pull back from that one. But that doesn't happen too often. And I actually used to be on a panel with another channel in the community here, which I won't name names because that's probably not the nice thing to do. But a certain person that I thought was pretty cool and I kind of, got along with pretty good. I was on the panel numerous times over the last couple of years, and then I got basically dropped, and I don't get invites anymore. And I asked them on Facebook, and they said, "I don't want you on my panels because I don't like the type of drama you attract." So I attract too much drama.
Wow.
But hey,
happens.
if somebody wants to have a sleepy snooze fest stream, that's totally okay with me. Let power to them. I'd rather come on a stream like this that's fun, hanging out with people that aren't afraid to express their opinions anyway, because this is much more entertaining than that stream ever was. I got to be honest.
Yeah, and you want people that are somewhat laid back too, to not get too upset all the time too. That's another key point.
Well, I mean, I usually don't get raging mad unless somebody's really provoking me. Usually, I just try and go with what the facts as I know them. I could be incorrect. I can always make a mistake, but I generally try and know something about what I'm talking about before I talk about it. The only time I will get PO'd is when somebody in the chat or on the panel really starts to stick their finger in my eye or whatever, and intentionally is trying to provoke me. And then sometimes, well, after a while, I generally try not to lose it too quickly, but after a while it's like oh, fuck this guy.
Oh well I know just the guy, and he makes you lash out at him since you're a proud Canadian patriot, and he takes jabs at Canada all the time, and you get provoked by that.
Well, everybody's got a certain point where they just get riled up, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't think I get that riled up.
Yeah. Scurvy, this is always a lighthearted challenge. Yeah. The Puma! You gotta put that in all capitals there. There, Scurvy. The Puma! So, good. You have a Puma here. You got plate head.
No. And if he plays dead, we'll never see him again because he'll be eaten alive.
Well, we've already established that Jethro's gonna be the one that eats me.
Well, is Jethro active enough to actually eat you, Gorilla, or will he just go, you're not worth my time?
You want to know how fucking lazy this fucker is? You want to know how lazy he is? I'll tell you how lazy he is. This morning there. Yeah, his dish was half full of food there. Now the little shoved back into the back, but it's half full. He kept. I had the cat food like right here by my desk because I haven't put it back in the kitchen after I mopped and stuff. And he was sitting there pawing on the fucking cat food there. I got up. I went and gave this cat dish a little kick to let the food fall into the front there. He walks over. Then he walks back to the thing, starts pawing it until I filled up his fucking dish so he can sit his fucking fat ass down and not have to bend his fucking head down. That's how fucking lazy he is.
Well, I remember when you posted that song, "My Cat's a Democrat." I'm pretty sure you were talking about Jethro in that.
Well, both of them, they can't catch a fucking mouse. Neither one of them will catch a fucking mouse.
Hey, don't feed them. Don't feed them for a week, girl. Maybe then they'll catch a mouse.
Oh
yeah,
no!
They'll fucking eat me in my sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
you have to lock yourself in your bedroom.
Yeah. All right. So Scurvy here says otter killings is a practice when the practitioner of the religion of peace deletes a family member for well, it's not just for dating of Western, it's for violating Islamic customs, is what it is.
Or Sharia law, in other words.
Yeah,
Sharia law. Which, if you read the list, it's just about any damn thing that they can think of putting on the list. It's ridiculous.
I haven't looked into it, so I'm not going to comment on it.
I've seen.
Booger said Tara Reid was Biden's victim. Oh, yeah. And then which one was Blasey Ford? Who did she accuse? there was a gal named something like Blasey Ford. Who the hell? I can't remember who. I think she accused Biden too. You go, and welcome Daniel's Hot Topics. Welcome. Yeah, me too. Welcome, Daniel.
No, what's
Hello, how are you? Oh, I know who PvP means. That could be a number of people. Well, I'm well, Daniel. How are you doing, sir? I have to say, people do tend to attack PvP. I don't blame him for getting ticked with it. Well, yeah, because I see a lot of like unnecessary attacks and all that. When the conversation doesn't, they purposely went out of the way. I was like, what the fuck ever.
Well, and the sad point is that people do dogpile on people that are easy to attack. That's the sad part too.
I don't think I'm that easy to attack. When somebody really pisses me off, I can go pretty good rage mode on their ass if I really need to.
Yeah. Well, I give you all kinds of shit, but I expect to get the shit back then too.
Well, the thing is, we're friends, and I know when we give each other shit, we're just having fun, joking around. We're not serious about it, you know. Yeah. And the people that have attacked me, sometimes they say shit, like they'll say shit. The chat can be the worst sometimes when you start getting the trolls in, and I've had one or two trolls that started attacking me for shit that I wasn't even talking about, and I'm like, oh man. And I was tempted to use my blue wrench to hammer the hell out of them, but I didn't. But you know, if I get a bad troll the next time, I'm gonna beat his brains out with a wrench. I'm just gonna say, okay, bye.
Just play rack a troll with your wrench.
It'll be whack a troll. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And Daniel says I feel mellow today.
You're on the wrong stream.
Oh, I missed the days when us wrenches there. We'd be like, this was back when a lot fewer people were streaming that. We used to have like bots come along, and one of the most famous one was like it was hd.sex. It was basically they put as a sex as a link there. Miraculously, those ones all kind of disappeared about the same time Russia invaded Ukraine, but I'm not seeing any correlation or causation, nothing. But they all disappeared. But we used to have fun when those things were. God, that one night there was 8 wrenches there. I was one of them. We were having fun to sit there. We're keeping track of who got the most wax on the bots there that were coming into the chat and stuff. And that's when people started doing the subscriber mode. And personally, I don't like doing subscriber mode there because I would like to hear from people who aren't subscribed. Maybe if we sit there and talk with people who aren't subscribed, they will subscribe there. But you do have the risk of people trolling. And even if you have it set for 1 or 5 minutes, they'll subscribe for 5 minutes, come troll the shit out of you, then fucking unsubscribe and leave. So that's almost waste of time.
Well, you
run into doing the subscriber mode.
Isn't the maximum 24 hours? I would give them like a 5 or 15 minute timeout, and if they came back, I would give them a 24-hour and say, fuck you, basically. I have a short temper when it comes to, with decent people, I can argue and I can debate and I can have conversations with, that's why I like hanging out with you guys. But everybody wants to intentionally come on, be a troll, be an a-hole, and just be there to try to ferment an argument for no good reason. I don't have much of a temper. My temper's short for that kind of garbage now because I'm at the age now where
I guess I'm a little mellower on it.
I've been through too much of this shit over too many years, and I can't tolerate this crap. You know what I mean, Gorilla?
Well, and I'll just ask Gorilla, how far down the political topics do you want to go? Because I do have a few political topics we could talk about, but I want to see how far do you want to try to avoid politics during this cigar lounge, or do you want to talk about a few political topics still? We're
talking about politics. That's part of the the Silverback Lounge, I like to focus the politics onto the one streams there instead of the politics getting dragged into the non-political streams.
Yeah,
You're
well,
about-
well, my point is that we're not hitting anything major political, politically this week. I can't say the word, but my point is, from what I hear in the news cycle with an Iran topic, certain politicians, the Iranian president resigned since he had no power. He was just a puppet of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard.
Well, the IRCG is in control of the streets there, but we're not negotiating with them. We're trying to find someone who's actually willing to be our puppet.
Actually, another video headline I saw, which I have not watched yet. I have to give the disclaimer. It was Iran had launched missile attacks on a couple of Arab states. I think Bahrain was one of them. They attacked, and there was another country, and then the U.S. retaliated.
No, it's Kuwait, Bahrain. I think a couple in Iraq was shot down all missiles and all drones there. Then we launched a major attack on an island that's an Iranian island. I can't remember what it was, but they called it a self-defense attack. This ceasefire is just a formality because you know why Trump's claiming that the ceasefire we're doing defensive strikes now or defensive strikes.
Well, the thing is on Tuesday he reported how the U.S. attacked Iran again with missile strikes. So there's no ceasefire here.
They're self-defense strikes. They're because
but
it's 60 days. 60 days for military action is up. You're allowed 90 days. 60 of them you can do active military combat. Then you got 30 days to withdraw or get authorization from Congress to continue with it. So that's why we're no longer doing epic fury. Is because the 60 days is up.
Okay.
But that's why they changed the name of the operation after that. Now it's defensive strikes.
Better get this wrapped up soon because I want to see that regime gone and over and dead and buried as quickly as possible. Because, I any political group in the United States that tries to limit Trump after the next 30 days are a bunch of fools. They ought to back him 100% as long as it takes. If it takes another month, 2 months, 3 months to end this, they ought to back him up because what are they going to do? Sit on their hands? And if Trump doesn't get it totally cleared out and the Iranian regime builds his dictatorship back up and then comes after the U.S. in 5 years when they have, ballistic missiles and if they have nuclear warheads, like, wow, that'll be great.
First of all, I want to say welcome, Jim's Landscape. Welcome. No, but
Hey,
the problem. I'll get to the chat here in a minute. But the problem is, I see a lot of people's point is, for the last all my life, for the 34 years I've been on this planet, Iran's always been 2 weeks from having a nuke. 2 weeks from having a nuke. 2 weeks from having a nuke. 2 weeks. I've been hearing it all my life. It's probably been going back further than that.
I've been hearing it for 47 years because I was alive when this crap started.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of it. I want it over. Finish it. Finish it now.
Oh, don't worry. I'm with you on that there because you can only talk shit for so long before someone punches you in the face. But the problem is we've been hearing for so long, especially from Israel there, that they're 2 weeks from getting a bomb. Or 2 weeks, we got to do something with something. They're 2 weeks from getting a bomb. We've been hearing that, and finally we said, fuck, we're taking care of the fucking problem there. But that so many people have been burned on that 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks from them having a nuke. They got to that people that are thinking they're just bullshitting their life to us.
Well, the thing is, I haven't paid attention to the nuke stuff for quite some time because I think that's a side issue. I really do because, as you say, I don't think Iran's ever been extremely close to it. Uh, what the reason I want this to end though is I want the Iranian people to be free. There's like 80 million
Yeah.
Iranians, is there not? And I want those people not to have to live in fear anymore. Because I remember, when I was a kid and a teenager, the 60s, 70s, when Iran was free, the Iranians were very Western. They were pro-Western. They loved the U.S. They loved the West. The women dressed like Western women. People walked around like Westerners. There's none of this Islamic, put a rug over your head crap that we got now. It's like, they were far more progressive and ahead, 47 years ago than they have been since then. And it really hurts me. I'm a soft-hearted person, when it comes right down to it, even though a lot of people wouldn't fucking know that because I have a gruff exterior and, you got to really, do a lot to piss me off. But, I don't like seeing millions of people being slaves. I just don't like it. And these people are basically slaves.
Well, PvP, how many people? Which human atrocities do we choose to fight there? Because you got all kinds of shit going on in Africa. You got the Chinese. Don't even tell you get going on what the Chinese are doing to the Uyghur Muslims in China. There's shit going on in was it Cambodia or Laos and shit there.
What about all the Christians being murdered in Africa? That's another topic, I suppose.
That's part of the shit going on in Africa that I mentioned.
But the thing is, Trump, Trump I think he's intelligent enough to realize you got to focus on one thing at a time. That's when you get the most results. If I let's put it this way, if I was back in college and I was lazy and stupid and I waited until the last 3 days and I had 4 term papers to write, I'd probably write 4 term papers that were all shit. Now, if I organized my time and I picked one at a time and concentrated on one term paper every 2 weeks to do the best job on it I could, I'd probably turn in something that would at least get me like a B-level grade, right? I would probably pass. But, it's like you've got to focus. And that's what Trump, I think, has done because he took Venezuela, the Venezuelan dictator out. He's out of the picture. Now he's working on Iran, and hopefully he can get that, solved. I wouldn't mind even if it's Israeli or Arab. I wouldn't mind if ground troops from any of the countries, involved went on and did a ground assault. That might be what it comes down to. I hate to think it, but I think it might be.
I don't want our boots on the ground.
No, I don't either.
I don't want our boots on the ground.
I think it might come down to that. I'm just being realistic. I'm just being realistic, bro.
See, I started growing, I grew up a lot in the 90s, but I'm mostly a post 2001. We've been in these endless wars for most of my life there, between Iraq, Iran, Syria. We've been fighting Yemen. That I'm tired. We're tired of war.
Yeah,
we are worn out. My generation and Sitan's generation, we're worn out from all this.
Yeah, 20 plus years of war and wartime propaganda. We're tired of it.
Well, you want to know who's tired of wars? I remember when the Cuban Missile Crisis, when Kennedy was in the White House, when the Russians sent all those nukes over to Cuba, or they wanted to. Of course, they didn't end up doing that because Kennedy scared the crap out of them. Because we were, probably days away from D-Day, or not D-Day, but Doomsday, I should say. So I was even a little kid. I was like probably, I don't know, 4 years old or something when that shit was going down. 3 years old. I still remember that shit though. And then we had Vietnam. all through my childhood and into my teen years till what 1974 or 75 when the Nam War ended. You know, and then there's just always wars. Then Iraq War. I mean, I remember like the Cambodian massacres, on and on and on. There's never been, I don't think, maybe a couple years here and there in my life when there was peace in the world, but not very often. So you want to know a guy that's really sick and wants wars to be over with? This guy right here. I want wars to be over. But the only way you permanently end a war is when it's like they did in World War II. They took out a guy with a mustache and they permanently erased him. And now he's nothing but some crazy person that, right-wing idiots worship, have a poster on their bedroom wall, probably, some of these idiots. But other than that, he's basically in the dustbin of history for all intents and purposes. And that's what I want to see the 47-year regime in Iran to be, in the dustbin of history. The sooner, the damn better. And if Trump gets that accomplished and he wants to talk about plans for Cuba, I'm all in favor of that as well. I'm not saying war. I'm not saying, but I am saying negotiations and maybe get the Cuban people freed too, because that would be nice. Because I know they're not enjoying themselves from the videos I've seen on the streets. So yeah,
Right.
you just got to go in with a hammer sometime and take it to them.
Yeah,
the Democrats
Larry,
tried to negotiate for decades. Here. It didn't work.
Yeah. I shame myself for banning too many people, but when someone says nothing but insults constantly, they don't need to stick around. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Let's see. Gorilla talks about George Floyd. Sit there and asks if he is allowed to talk politics.
That's a good one.
Yes, Gary, sue me. You realize we've been talking politics the whole time, right? LOL. Just give me shit, Seth. You know I like you. And welcome again to Commodore Jim. Welcome.
Hey, Jim.
Jim.
Hey again, Jim.
Jim, I know you streamed earlier. When is your next one? Just curious. I know, Scary, but the politics we were talking about was relatively old. Hey, that kid I was talking about, the Nick Nomad, that's very recent. Oh, political news. I was hoping to talk about more recent. And next Tuesday's your other. Dan, I bet you can just bring it up and I'll go for it. Yeah, if we're all in the conversation, bring something up. The problem is, I don't think that Iranian regime could be overthrown from air. So if the goal is regime change, we'd have to go in from the ground. Yeah, but that's problem. No, I guarantee you, 80% of the people do not want boots on the ground. I mean, one of them.
Yeah, and
what is the goal in the Iranian? Well, they laid out that they want someone more progressive in there, but they want to denuclearize them.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
You really want to understand what's going on in Iran? Do research into the 12th Amman, because that's who we're fighting. Is the 12th Amman? They're trying to bring in the end of the world.
Yeah, I will say this.
Glad Beck did an excellent topic on it.
I will say this: Iran giving up the nuclear program, not gonna happen, because they know it's their only trump card to possibly develop nuclear material, nuclear weapons, which for the past 20 plus years they've been threatening, but so far they're not been able to do it. But to them, that's their only trump card they have left, one of many. They're not gonna give it up.
Yeah, and then let's see. I heard from 4 doctors that Trump is really sick and he has 4 months to live. 4 doctors confirmed this. They also showed a big black mark on the back of his hand. That's just bruising from handshake and that. And if you're gonna believe these doctors sit there, or Daniel, just to let you know that these people have also promised me that Hillary Clinton was going to be dead 10 years ago. So
Daniel,
a bunch of people talking shit.
Daniel, take some advice from an elder. Don't believe every goddamn thing you fucking hear. Please do not, because that's not going to make your life better. Because I just saw a video on the weekend. Some incredibly intelligent person posted on their channel that once again they had proof that Trump had shit his pants one more time. Needless to say, I did not click on the video. I did not watch the video. I did not give the video a thumbs up. I should have reported it.
Scene by chance? Was it?
I don't remember the name.
Was it that short little midget scene?
I probably just blocked the channel, so I don't remember. But if I see a really stupid headline, I just go to the block channel and I don't see it anymore. So
yeah,
I'm at that point now where I'm just blocking channels.
It's kind of like I didn't believe it.
But it's like, come on.
Yeah. And
now, if you want to talk about Biden,
saying that Biden shit his pants at the.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, if you want to talk about Biden,
shit his pants at the Vatican,
well, it's like that's not exactly political.
It's a bunch of.
It's not political debate when you talk about people shitting themselves, unless you're talking about the Democratic reaction of the news media on the election night. That was hilarious.
Yeah. And Daniel, I wouldn't buy it. Remote diagnostics doesn't work. Doctors only actually examine him count. Yeah, exactly. Russia attack kills at least 18 in Ukraine. Some of them children buried under rubble.
You gotta
That's
quit
been happening for 4 years now.
You gotta quit paying attention. Where's your source, Daniel?
Yeah, that war in Ukraine, it's just turned into
a grind.
Yeah,
that's
been happening every day in Ukraine. It's just turned into a bloody quagmire.
I don't even believe that there were. I don't necessarily believe there were children buried. I mean, I need to see the source and I need to see the facts before I come to that conclusion. Because how many times have I seen that, the Israelis are murdering people in Gaza? I don't know how many times I've seen that trope over the last number of years. And I, for one, am sick and freaking tired of it because it's nothing but a damn lie. I've seen the video that the guy that did all the research on it, and he proves it's a damn lie in his video. Israel has sent more. They've sent more aid into Gaza than most countries would ever send to anybody.
Yeah. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta refill my water.
Go for a refill there, bud.
I think that if Trump's going to prove anything to me, I think you should go into Mexico and take down every single cartel there.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, we're going into we're trying to go into a trade deal with Mexico and Canada.
You are trading with terrorists. You know that, right? Cartels.
Yeah, but Trump's got to placate the leader of Mexico and get a trade deal done before he can think about that.
She's whacked out. She's a whacked out biatch.
Yeah, but Carney's a whacked out biatch. But Trump has to act. Trump's got his hand full right now with Iran. Okay. He doesn't need to. Hey, what happened to Hitler when he had wars on two fronts?
He lost.
Yes, and Trump doesn't need a war on two fronts, does he?
Well, he's got one over in Taiwan in that area over there, whether he wants it or not. So.
Really?
No.
Really, Mikey? Because if that happened, it'll be all over the news of China attacking Taiwan. That's not happening at all.
Not yet.
Well, Japan and South Korea are probably going to have a say in that too. I'm sure if China ever got that stupid, the Japan and South Korea would step in. I got a feeling.
Look, it's Jethro.
Yeah, and
we Puma.
We have our own carrier group stationed in Japan for a quick response. I would say the one advantage China can have of taking Taiwan is that they have to be extremely fast to secure the island. If they're unable to do that, then they're fucked over a barrel. We could easily shoot them in a barrel with the turkey shoots.
Well, I have a question for you guys. What advantage would China have to actually take over Taiwan?
Well, besides the events,
They take over the world.
Early warning system.
Well,
well,
I could actually answer that. PvP. The thing with Taiwan is they're the not only would it's a symbolic victory for for the Communist Party there, because with the 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 before the CCP took over, the Republic of China, that government, when after World War II, fled to Taiwan and set up the Taiwanese government there and separated from China there. Now, so that'd be a symbolic victory. Second of all, Taiwan makes 90% of the world's computer chips. So therefore, if they took over Taiwan, one there, unless
Are you
Taiwan
sure it's
destroys all the
90% gorilla?
factories
Because I thought Silicon Valley over in California did some work on computer chips too, not just Taiwan.
Taiwan makes 90% of them. Taiwan makes
So that means the other
90%
10% is
the
made
world's
in
computer
America and the
chips there.
Silicon Valley.
So,
Huh.
well, we make a few, but not nearly as many as you have no idea how many computer chips go around the world there. Because and plus, and if even if either China gets control of the world of 90%, or they'd actually probably be up to 93% of the world's computer chips there. Either that, Taiwan destroys all those chip making factories and it cripples the world. So,
and I would say this: if China had the strength to take Taiwan, they would have done it already. They would have, but they don't have the strength or the gamble enough to take it.
It'd be awfully. I think they could take Taiwan, but it'd be awfully bloody. They could only traverse the Taiwan Strait really in 2 months. One was October. I can't remember the other one, but otherwise the seas can get really volatile. But to have that many troops that they would need to send, that it's too volatile, or there's constant hurricanes. So they got to pick their timing just right on that, because it's a very volatile sea area there. A lot of ships avoid that area. There.
Okay, well, I checked your facts about 90%. So actually, where it's concentrated with China, South Korea, and Taiwan collectively is 70%. But when you're looking at the United States, even though they have fewer plants, they manufacture approximately 46%. So, yeah, that 90%
your numbers aren't adding up there.
Yeah, 90.
Well, your numbers aren't adding up because you said
I said 70% among
China,
3 countries. Yep. Yeah. Well, I was just verifying that with
you. You said 47% in the United States.
Well, the United States has fewer plants.
So the numbers aren't adding up there.
Well, 46% to pretty much. If you want to save more than 54%.
On
but Taiwan makes a lot more than that. They make a lot more than that.
I just want to interject. I'm very happy to say Canada's not a part of this, because our dumbass prime minister will make sure there's zero computer chips being made here.
Bernie, yeah, your country will. I'm gonna take a chat about your country. You guys will be sucking up so hard to China. If we do go to war with China, you'll be like, "Oh, we're China's bitch."
Dan, you've touched on a nerve now. Before the election, Carney's Liberals stated, China is the greatest threat to Canada. And then once they got elected, what does Carney do? He flies over to China. He cozies up to the dictator there. They have dinner. They have drinks. He's signing, phony, letters of understanding, which are not ever actually agreements. It's not worth the paper you could wipe your backside with. But, they go over there for a photo op and cozy up and, do a cuddle session. And then Carney flies back at our tax dollars expenses and achieves nothing. And now all of a sudden, oh, our relationship with the U.S. is over. We have to have a new world order with other countries. And it's like, Canadians don't want to be a Chinese dictatorship. And there are things I've read about how Chinese police are now being integrated with our RCMP here, which I haven't got any details on, but I've heard of numerous sources talking about this, and that it does seem to be something that's in the works, and that scares the fuck out of me because I don't want. And there have been Chinese citizens that fled here that have been harassed by operatives of the Chinese government. I've heard that over a number of years too. I don't have the details because that's not an area I've checked into extensively, but you know, it's
Well, yeah, and I will say this, PP.
Can I
if
fact
you're
check
co-
myself here?
Sure, go
Can I
ahead,
fact check?
Grill.
I was correct on the 90%, but it's for the most advanced chips that they make 90%. The ones used in AI and in our quantum computers. That's where they make the 90% of the most advanced chips. Then for the quantum computers and the AI, but for the semiconductors and the less advanced chips, it's 60 to 68%.
Right.
They
And
say 50 to 60%. Right.
yeah, and PV, I
Yeah,
will say this.
but for the most advanced ones, there it's 90%.
Well, I'm sure it's more with the more advanced. Well, this is interesting. It says, as of current data, it says 33 countries are listed as having semiconductor fabrication plants. The top manufacturers by facilities are Japan, then Taiwan, then the United States, and then China.
And I will say this, PP. If your country did side with China, if we do go to war with China, then don't worry. Us, United States, will cut off our trade deals with you guys up there, and that'll throw your economy into a deep recession. And you'll come crawling back to us saying, "Oh no, we're in LA with the U.S. We'll kiss your ass."
I got news. That's already happening. The news has been this week big that Carney has put us into a recession now. So that's already happening, Dan. No news there. The Liberals are Carney has basically sabotaged any trade deals with the United States up to this point. He's a buffoon. He's had over 400 days in power, and he's done absolutely nothing of value to help anybody. But he's given away billions and billions. He gave $25 billion to Ukraine in money laundering because he gives Zelensky $25 billion of my tax money, and that disappears into Zelensky's bank account somewhere. And then Zelensky, he turns around and gives Carney's Brookfield management. Look into Brookfield. Boy, there's a can of worms there, guys.
Oh, yeah, I call him Carnival Clown Car Carney.
No, but I'm just going to finish, Mikey.
Sorry.
Zelensky turned around and gave Brookfield management a multi-billion-dollar contract to rebuild Ukraine when the war is over. So you talk about one hand shaking the other hand is like my tax dollars go to Zelensky and then Zelensky gives it back to Carney. If that's not money laundering, it's getting pretty damn close to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Here, Mike, you want to read this one?
Lemon says, I did read on Fox News that Gorilla's excessive consumption of Monster energy drinks may have him deleted by tomorrow.
Oh, come on. I only drink 6 of them a day. Come on. I only drink 6 of them a day.
And
right. He doesn't mix it with any of his cooking materials,
Yeah, and Grilla, I thought you were going cold turkey unless you quit on that already, or are you still going cold turkey on that stuff?
I gave up pop, not energy drinks.
Yeah, he gave up. He gave up soda pop. He wants to keep the energy drinks.
One thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Yeah, quit smoking too. Don't just
Well, he can't. He's doing a cigar lounge.
No, he's not. He's doing a silverback lounge. He's not calling it cigar lounge anymore, Dan.
You know what? Just for that, Mikey.
Told ya.
Now, see, that's the thing. He's doing cigarettes now, Mikey, not cigars.
I know, but he's not calling. Dan said he used to call it the Cigar Lounge, which is true, but now he's just calling it Silverback Lounge.
Yeah, and that was my idea, by the way. I suggested that name to Gorilla.
Oh. Well,
I'm
here, I'll
glad
do
you
two
did
at a
there.
time.
Anytime
I'll do two at a time.
Gorilla
I'll do
wants to
cigar
put
and a
anytime Gorilla wants to put the check in the mail, just let me know, Gorilla.
Yeah, some funding is needed by PvP Way.
Oh,
Remember,
God.
mail it to PO Box PvP 1171.
Hey, if anybody ever actually wants to mail me anything, you can contact me on Facebook. So,
Yeah. Well, if you want to earn money fast, just play you guys as a national lottery up there. See if you win any Canadian loonies.
yeah. Well, I'm not really a gambler.
Yeah.
Go
Let's
ahead.
see, Taiwan produces the most of the world's computer chips. Yep. More important even about Taiwan is that it's a free democracy, prosperous. It would be morally wrong to let China take it and make it as fucked up as China. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's
the only way
it's mostly for the computer chips, but mostly also is the Taiwan's is the fucking stick in their side there, a prick in their side there. They're
the only way they'll come
have
up.
a carnival working around in it.
Yeah, it does.
There you go.
The only way that they would attack Taiwan is by nuclear weapons, and we all know where that'll lead. So, yeah.
They'll do a conventional takeover, but it'll be bloody.
I personally don't see China having any incentive to attack Taiwan because what the small gains they might get, I think they will have huge losses to counterbalance that. And don't forget, if they're gonna turn the Japan, Australia, New Zealand,
and
South Korea, Philippines, especially the United States, and probably a lot. Well, Western Europe,
probably.
Western Europe are pussies, so I won't even include those useless pussies anymore.
No,
And Canada, forget Canada.
Western on that. They don't give a shit how many people they lose. They won't give a shit how many people they lose.
Well, I do remember the newscasts every night from Vietnam, Gorilla. So I know they don't give a fuck about how many people they do lose. I'm well aware of that. But my point is, I don't think China has that much to gain. I really don't. I mean, from all the bad ill will and all the military might that would come up against them, and my main thought is China has enough of their own issues to deal with internally within China. Their population is not probably. I don't think a lot of the Chinese are that happy with their government. I really don't. They don't speak out because they don't want to get murdered. But I don't think a lot of them are that happy with what they're living under. Even though they've loosened it up and they got the kind of an illusion of democracy with all the shopping and crap in the cities there. But there's still a lot of rural Chinese that are probably living like they did 100 years ago that aren't, having the best life.
Having the shopping is not democracy. They have the illusion where they get to pick the leader for the next every 5 years, but it's always the same.
That's what I said.
System. The shopping there is a mix of capitalism with communism there, or it's communism with Chinese characteristics is what they call
That's
it.
what I'm trying to say. They want to brainwash the Chinese that they're getting more freedom because they can go to some place with flashing lights and buy something, but that's not democracy. That's just that's flashing lights. So and I do think I keep hearing echoes of I'm nothing that I can substantiate, but I keep hearing little things. Some of the stuff that gets posted that the Chinese government they do have some undercurrents in their society that they have to be concerned with, because there are people in the Chinese population that are not satisfied with their lives, and I think the Chinese government should concentrate on the internal problems that they have within China before they ever think of doing anything externally. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and that's why they're clamping down on civil.
Yeah.
Well, if they ever had civil liberties to begin with, they're clamping down on that in
Yeah.
China to
Well,
try to
it's like
silence them.
yeah, Dan. It's like when Gorilla mentioned those are the Muslims in northern China, aren't they? The Uyghurs or whatever the hell you call
The
them.
Uyghurs or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good at
Uyghurs.
pronouncing
Yeah.
because they're not getting very
Yeah.
very good
I'll be right
treatment,
back.
are they?
I gotta get preheat my oven. I'll be right back. I'm gonna preheat the oven there for my supper.
Yeah, and I will say this: that the one thing that China's turning outwards somewhat to a certain extent is to try to unite their country enough to not have to deal with their internal issues or problems. That's why they keep saying they're going to take Taiwan. And I would say that's the only way. If China was smart enough and knew how to play the game right, they could take over China by doing huge airlifts for the use their huge air force and missile technology to overwhelm Taiwan's air defenses and do massive troop airdrops like paratroopers they did like a certain country in World War II that overwhelmed Allied troops in the early years of that war, and then take over Taiwan that way. But I doubt that China has enough guts to do that, and they'll do a conventional war, which will be more bloody, which means they have to do massive naval invasion of Taiwan, which that will take time, money, and resources, and that gives Taiwan's unofficial allies time to retaliate back at them with their own missile strikes and their own aircraft and their own ships to destroy their supply lines to basically destroy the invasion force.
Also, don't forget, Dan, that if a country starts a war, the citizens of said country might not approve of that war, and it might create dissent within a country as to the leadership, doing a boneheaded move that a lot of citizens don't agree with. So, if they did decide to attack Taiwan, there's a lot of Chinese that might say, "Hey, wait a minute, what are you guys doing up there? In our elite, our slave master elite? We didn't agree to this. We didn't want a war. We're quite happy, just being, slaves. We didn't need a war, and getting a bunch of, our soldiers killed in a war that achieves very, very little overall. So I think that, well, roll the dice, I guess, China. Hey, commie leaders, roll the dice and see if you come out ahead.
Well, Scurvy here says Japan and the U.S. would defend Taiwan too. It ain't gonna happen. No, it's one of those. I wouldn't put past the Chinese there to try to do it. I think they're, but I don't. I'll give it to you. It won't happen during Trump's presidency, but depending on who our next president is, they might go for it.
Yeah, well, I will say this: unless the Democrats are able to pull their heads out of their asses and actually unite with a singular leader, I mean, right now, that's not happening. And I just, well, they have 2 years to organize themselves. Really, have you looked how disorganized the Chinese Party is? I mean, the U.S. Democrat Party is. They're very disorganized, and they don't have any unifying leader to unify to speak on behalf of the whole party. And if the Democrats can't get their act together by 2028, it's going to be another, if at best, a close election to, if not another landslide for the Republican Party. If the Republican Party is able to keep their agenda, their act together enough to get reelected and into office, but with another Republican president besides Trump, which would probably be J.D. Vance or another Republican Trump successor he grooms take his place as the new Republican head of the party.
It will be one of
Marco Rubio, but
I'd say
Marco Rubio.
I'd say it's either J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio. Those would be two my picks. But this is very early, so who knows?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Thomas Bassey putting his finger in there or his toes in there. And welcome out, Bill. Welcome. And yeah, I shaved. I got tired of eating my beard, eating my mustache. So I decided to shave. Plus, it's summertime. Let's see. China tried to invade Vietnam and were pushed back in 1979. Yeah, but they probably learned a lot of lessons in that, and things that was also 40 years ago. 50 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, and from what I hear in the Chinese military circles, most of those experienced officers that were in that war were either purged or retired now, so they have very little military experience fighting a war, if at all, anymore. Since most of those officers that were in the '79 conflict with Vietnam are either retired, purged, or dead.
Well, let's see. We're what? We're in 2026, so that'd be 37 years ago, wouldn't it, guys?
It'd be longer than that. 37
1979
years
to
ago, that'd be
80.
80.
Okay, yeah, that'd be like 57 years ago. I don't know. Fuck. 47.
Yeah,
It's around half
that'd
a
be
century.
47 because that's when Iran switched over to the IRC, to the Islamic Republic. There was in 79.
Oh, there you go. They switched over the guys with the turbans too tight on their brain cells to make them think straight. Okay, got it. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. Thing is, don't forget too that there's a neighbor, on Russia's western border called Russia, and Russia hasn't always been that friendly with China. They've had their disputes over the years, and I think if China put a lot of their military forces into attacking Taiwan and defending themselves from America and any other Western power that wanted to, get involved and say, nope, 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 we're going to have to attack you. We're going to fight back. And China gets in a messy, bloody conflict for a number of weeks or whatever it takes. You don't think the Russians, especially if you got a guy like Putin in power still, might think of, China's really compromised right now. Maybe we should take some territory in Western China, because we've thought about that over the years.
No, Russia will not invade China because China's buying a massive amount of their oil there. And welcome, old bad bird. Welcome.
Yeah, and I will say this, PvP. The question is, does Russia have the military resources to spare to create a second front on China? If not, then they're going to be in a German situation in World War II. Like, we don't have enough resources to do a two-front war, so which front do we focus on mainly? Our current Ukrainian front, where the majority of our resources, shitty as they are tied up there, or do we transfer some of our resources to the Chinese front that we may create, that will probably be as bloody and maybe a disaster, and go that way?
Well, yeah, I get exactly what you guys are saying. I totally agree with what you're saying. But at the same token, it's like I'm not necessarily talking if it happened, next week. I'm talking maybe if it happens like 2 or 3 years from now. Maybe the Ukraine war is over by then. Maybe Russia has had time to rebuild by then. Who knows? I don't have a crystal ball. I wish to hell I did, because I'd buy lottery tickets. But 2 or 3 years from now, we could have a completely different situation over there with Russia and Ukraine, right?
Yeah. So let's.
And I think Russia wants to end this war. I think the only reason it doesn't is because Zelensky likes having those billions of dollars pour into his bank account. That's my theory.
Yeah, but Scurvy here says same concept though. They thought they would overwhelm with numbers and it didn't work. I still think that if it's depending on who's president next, on whether or not China tries. Yeah, and welcome again to Eugene here.
Did you mute yourself? Can't hear you, Gorilla.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. 53 years since the ceasefire, but it doesn't matter. Well, the ceasefire held, so there's that. As we left in 1973, the North Vietnamese and Chinese swarmed in. Oh yeah, they didn't hesitate to freaking go take over South Vietnam after we said fuck it and left. Everybody's saying hello. Apparently, Screwy's number 1 in the chat there, and Kevin's number 2. Well, no, the Chinese attacked, and the Vietnamese didn't. They didn't come in to help Vietnam. Yeah, I never really did much research on the Vietnam War. Mine's mostly on World War II, and I've been starting to get into World War One.
So, Gorilla, do you think we'll ever see World War III in our lifetime?
We're already in World War III.
No, we're not.
It's
Not,
just
no,
more
no,
free- it's
not,
all
no,
just
we're
gonna-
not. No. We're not even close to World War III yet. When you start seeing the bombs fall, when you start seeing missiles go, that's World War III. Okay?
Well, how do you define?
What do you think's
a world
fucking going
war?
in Iran and Ukraine right now?
We're not
The
talking
bombs and
about
missiles
nuclear
are flying.
missiles. Hey, Gorilla, we're not talking
Oh,
about
so the
nuclear
te-
missiles here.
So
We're
in
talking
order to
ballistic
be in World War
missiles.
III, it doesn't have to
Different
be
thing.
we have conflicts all over the fucking world. It has to be nukes.
There's no
But
World War
then-
III right now. What?
If you're talking about Ukraine, Russia, and what's going on with Iran and America and Israel and all the rest of that, I think those are limited wars. Those are strategic area wars. They're not global wars.
They're proxy wars.
You could put it that way, but it's like if a world war has to have more than several countries
LDG,
involved.
he's been kidnapped. He's been replaced by a clone with no beard.
Can I finish,
Let's
please?
come back to this here in a second.
Sorry.
Here. Let's catch up on the chest. We'll get back to this topic.
Nice.
I'm not a number. I am a free man.
I'm a free man.
I am a free man.
I think somebody's watched The Prisoner
Master
here.
has given Dobby clothes. Dobby is a free elf. I heard they reached the point that Russia is losing more troops than they can recruit. Oh, it's probably that. Who's the ball champ? Well, I'm Gorilla's brother, Baboon. There, he wasn't feeling well, so I'm filling in for him tonight.
Yeah, just don't show us a red ass or blue ass.
Oh God! Hey Dan, come on! I want to see your Mo hair at least once. Come on, I want to see the Mo. Come on, I want to see Mo.
Yeah.
Show me Mo, damn it.
There he is.
Yeah. Hey, wise guy.
So
okay,
so
Curly.
We got Mo. We got Curly.
So let's see. Vietnamese communists overthrew Khmer Rouge communists in Cambodia, who are China backed. Okay, yeah, this is out of my league for my history knowledge.
Khmer Rouge.
We just answered that.
I'll tell you.
It does.
Girl is going into the army.
Hey,
that's Bear Girl, the best for military girl. Hoorah!
Well, the one problem with me being drafted there is I probably fucking piss off my CEO there. And my job would be look and see what's down that hole.
Girl against the boot camp. This is the scenario. Girl against the boot camp. It's just like that Kubrick film, right? You know the one I'm talking about, Gorilla. And he gets to boot camp, and the drill sergeant is trying to. Yeah, it's full metal jacket, and the drill sergeant is trying to hammer Gorilla down, but Gorilla is actually tougher than the drill sergeant. And at the end of the scenario, it's not Gorilla that eats the gun; it's the drill sergeant that eats the gun.
Yeah. No, I'd be more like that one. That Joker there going. Is that you, John Wayne? Who the fuck said that?
Who just signed his death warrant? Who just signed his own death warrant?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And without his beard, Gorilla could pass it for a military gun. Hoorah!
Hoorah!
And so China invaded Vietnam because they were rather the Vietnamese pushed them out. All right, I'm gonna have to take your word for that, Screw, because I like I said, I'm not sure on all that.
Can I say this like the Hulk? Putin is very angry. Putin angry. Putin smash.
There you go.
Nice. Nice.
Food will die have sacrificed all the Russian young men to have for nothing. Yeah, a lot of them are dying there.
Oh, man.
And we got okay. We'll do that Thursday. We'll review Full Metal Jacket. How about that?
Oh, that'll be good. Yeah.
All right, and before Gorilla tries to wrap up his stream, PP, you want to try to finish your point about how would you define a world war? Because we were talking about World War III. If you're able to remember what you were trying to say.
I define a world war where multiple countries are involved. Because when we had the Allies and the Axis, how many countries are involved in that?
Well, the enemy side, at least three, the famous three, Germany, Italy, and Japan. And on the Ally side, well, the three major ones were UK, Russia, and the US, and maybe France. But France was an early timer, and they were basically, well, I'm going to do some first passion here. They were useless during the Second World War. And they said they did a lot of stuff. Yeah, right.
Well, France was overrun. Okay. They literally were overrun there. That's, all they could do was that, like, some of my relatives were actually French resistance fighters, and that's all they could do was to beat out the Nazis, was to take them off the land, was to create terrorist acts, which is exactly what the Vietnamese did to try to get the United States out of Vietnam. So,
Well, maybe France should have thought. France, those people were like, oh, no one will come through the forest. Those are dead too thick. No one will come through.
Okay. I wouldn't even said that they were going to come through the Maginot Line, but of course they did. So it's
okay.
That's stupid.
Okay, I've looked up a list here of the countries involved in World War II.
Just a sec.
And I will read them off to you because I know.
Who just signed his death warrant? We got a super chat here. Thank you, Eugene. You're the best.
The man.
Better than
all the rest. Eugene Bird. You're the man.
Make it all the heart sing.
I'm actually gonna look into getting a restream there.
You need to get your jingles back.
A restream there so that we can actually play the song here, because $44 a month is really expensive for StreamYard.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a list.
Thank you, Old Man Bird, for that.
Yeah,
okay, here's a list of World War II. Axis powers, that's the bad guys. Germany, Italy, Japan, of course.
Correct.
Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Slovakia, Croatia, Philippines, North Italy, Thailand, Iraq, Bohemia and Moravia, Italian Albania, Finland, Vichy France, French Indochina of Japan, so it's Vietnam, Kampuchea, Dutch East Indies of Japan, Serbia, Montenegro, Belarus, German Albania, Hellenic state, Norwegian state, Yugoslavia, Burma, Macedonia, and there's probably half a dozen others. And allied, we got United Kingdom, United States, Soviet Union, Republic of China. Really? They were allied with us. Wow, go figure. France, Poland, Mongolia, Czechoslovakia, Chetnik, Saudi Arabia, Nepal, Philippines, Canada, Newfoundland, which was a separate country then, India, Australia, Poland, Free France, New Zealand, San Marino, Southern Rhodesia, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Norway, Brazil, Liberia, Korea, Egypt, Haiti, South Africa, Finland. Gosh, it's got Iraq here too. They must have traded sides. Italy, Italian resistant movement. That's from 43 onward. Romania, Bulgaria, Yugoslavia, Turkey, Greece, Syria, Lebanon, Iran, Ethiopia, Denmark, Cuba, Panama, Costa Rica, Yugoslavia, on and on. Like, there was a few countries involved in World War II. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
That's why I say that's what a global war looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
when you got a large
World
part
War
of
III,
the
I think
globe
there's going to be
involved.
a shit ton of regional conflicts all over. We're in a more economic and information war right now. No,
This
but it'll
regional,
be
we
a
got
bunch of regional conflicts. I think.
it's regional
I don't think
conflicts
we'll
what
be.
we have.
Right. They're just minor conflagrations, some spats that are going on in two different parts of the world
Well,
at the moment.
it's like wouldn't you call Vietnam a regional conflict back in the
Well, I
60s
called
and 70s?
Afghanistan a regional conflict, and we had two countries that failed at that one. So,
Well, we had the Russians that went in and thought they could control it, and they screwed up bad. And I think that then the was the Mujahideen or whatever the fuck they were called. They took
well,
all the Russian weapons,
yeah,
and then the Americans went in and thought they were going to solve it, and then they fucked up bad. And then the bad guys got even
Well,
more weapons from the USA, and now
right.
they're armed to the frickin' teeth. Those bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Taliban.
now
well,
they're
we were getting slaughtered with our own weapons.
yeah, and for what I
Yeah.
hear, Afghanistan is now getting a little feisty with Pakistan now, due to certain geopolitical issues.
Well, Pakistan and Afghanistan were fighting each other a few months ago. I remember.
Yeah, they're still taking pot shots
But
at
we
each
got
other.
a lot of chances.
Yeah, go for
We
it,
just get a
Gorilla.
lot
Go for
of
it,
chance
chat.
pop up
Go
here.
for it, chat master.
A world war involving several major powers. Well, a lot of the world powers are in the wars there. I think it'll be a
I
bunch of
think
regional wars
yeah,
there.
you got to have more than two powers involved, though, in my
Well,
opinion.
there's three things you need to remember. When we have World War III, it's going to be three things. It's going to be global, it's going to be nuclear, and we won't survive it.
It's going to be economical too, Mikey.
Yeah, but economical goes with global. Okay.
Well, the thing is, my scenario. It'll start off with innuendos. It'll start off with propaganda in the channels on the internet here. It'll be cyber attacks. It'll be the low key stuff like everything on YouTube, Facebook, X. It'll all be the powers attacking each other. Propaganda, be tons of bullshit propaganda for days and days and days. And then it'll go to cyber attacks where they'll start trying to shut down countries' websites and shut down government websites and try and maybe attack the power grid if they can shut down the power grid. Because I tell you, you shut down the power grid, you're going to have somebody by the balls if you shut down their power grid. And I'm always surprised that the terrorists are so stupid. They never figured that one out. Thank goodness. But I've always said, if you shut down the power grid of a country for 2 weeks, people are going to be living like Fred Flintstone at that point, right? You might as well go back to your cave because that's what you're living in at that point. And and then once all that crap's over with, maybe in a week or so, then we're going to start getting to the nitty gritty where it'll be ground forces, it'll be conventional war, maybe for a couple days, maybe for a week. Be lots of people slaughtered, lots of civilians slaughtered. And then once it gets really bad and somebody feels like they're losing too much, maybe some idiot will decide to push the button and then we can all just bend over and kiss our asses goodbye.
Yeah, it's going to be glorious.
I want to catch up on chat, then I'll bring something up. I looked up, or I had Grok look up for me here.
If I was a Klingon, I'd say it would be a good day to die.
Several major powers. Several of the major powers are in wars right now, directly in combat. Not necessarily. No song, haha, you guys are great. So thank you for the super chat there, old man bird. Mikey, man.
Mikey Smash!
Bad guy.
Yeah, Italy was one of the Axis with Germany
they were
and
in World
Japan.
War II under Mussolini.
Mussolini.
Yeah, Mussolini was so popular, the Italians hung him up, put him up, and hung him up after the war ended.
Yeah, first name Benito. Hello.
Yeah, they put a wire around his neck and hung him in the street.
Then you had Emperor Hirohito in Japan.
Yeah. And If Gorilla had an animated countries clip, I think it would fit PvP's listing off countries in World War II. You know,
Yeah.
I want to make a new version of the animatics clip when he's pointing out the countries. Only it'd be like shithole, 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 shit. Just every country's name shit. Just
Yeah.
stop it. Shit.
Hey, I never said they were all major
Yo.
countries, but I said there were multiple countries involved.
That's my secret, Gorilla. I'm always
Yeah,
angry.
but a lot of them joined the last 2 weeks of the war after it's clear who won.
It looks like
That's
a
my
lot of them.
secret gorilla.
It
I'm
looks
always
like a
angry.
lot of them.
Mikey AL, the Incredible Hulk.
It looks like a lot were around 1943, Gorilla, from the dates I
LGG's
saw.
going, what's up?
What's up?
What's
We got
up?
a thumbs up with the night. Now Afghanistan is at war with Pakistan. Crazy shit. See, you guys are proving my point. Drone
Yeah,
and
yeah,
robot
yo.
dog Skynet. Yeah. PvP called it. Now, here, I'm going to share something here. I asked Grok, are we in an unofficial World War III? You guys know we're not in an unofficial World War III yet, but the world is in a highly dangerous phase of overlapping major conflicts, great power rivalries, and hybrid warfare that many analysts describe as the most volatile since the Cold War's peak. Current situations: you got Russian-Ukraine war ongoing since 2022, a grinding conventional war with massive casualties, NATO involvement in supporting Ukraine, and Russian alliances with North Korea and Iran. These escalations: Israel, Hamas, Hezbollah conflicts, plus the 2026 Iran war. The U.S. and Israel launched major strikes on Iran, including targeting leadership. That's a key thing right there, targeting leaders. Iran retaliated across the region, and there's a spillover into Lebanon and Gulf states. Fragile ceasefire holds, but tensions starting moves to Lebanon persist. Other hotspots: Sudan civil war, Myanmar, the shell instability, Taiwan, South China Sea tension, hybrid actions. These are linked through armed flows, alliances. Yeah, Russia, China, North Korea axis versus U.S.-led networks, economic warfare, cyber text, information. Ray Delano and others have called this an early-stage world war with interconnected shooting wars and connected conflicts. Now, why it's not yet World War III? Traditional world wars involved direct, large-scale military conflicts between multiple great powers across continents, war mobilization of economies and societies, global theaters with tens of millions. We have regional wars with great powers backing proxies, weapons, intel, sanctions, but no direct NATO-Russia clash, no U.S.-China hot war, and no full global coalition fighting. Many experts emphasize that direct great power confirmation or confrontation is the missing ingredient for calling it World War III. It's more like an intense multipolar hybrid cold/hot conflict, sometimes called World War Zero or the new Cold War, with risk of escalations. Well, it feels like it become an unofficial World War III. Escalation risks are real. A mistake in Ukraine, e.g., NATO troops, Taiwan, or renewed Iran fighting could draw in major powers directly. Historians note that World War II looks like a bunch of regional conflicts until they merged in hindsight. See that's part of the reason I say. Public and experts' anxiety are high. Some Ukrainian officials, columnists, and think tanks' voices already labeled aspects of this as World War III start. Defense spreading surges and eroding the international norms add to the sense of drift. Bottom line, we're in a pre-World War III era of a dangerous fragmentation and rivalry, not a declared or full unofficial global war. The Iran episode showed how quickly things can flare, but also de-escalate via ceasefire. Prevention depends on diplomacy, deterrence, avoiding miscalculation in the coming years. Stand forward to flashpoints in Ukraine, Taiwan, and the Middle East. really
If
like
they
the
wanted to
material.
go today, it's no trouble.
Mikey, you should have muted because you're loud.
You're bleeding through, Mikey.
Yeah,
bleeding.
well, I can't hear what Gorilla's even saying.
I was asking a question
No, but Gorilla was still reading that, and we couldn't hear it.
well, I wasn't loud. I was just asking her.
We could hear you in the background quite well.
Oh, okay.
So your mic is extra sensitive, Mikey. In other words.
Oh, it's extra sensitive microphone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am
So
sorry,
what is the
Gorilla. You
pre-World
want
War
to finish? I can shut the fuck up if you want me to.
Yeah, but I think we're in like the Czechoslovakia, maybe even just the Austria part of World War II there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
look at like our Civil War, for example. There, well, we call the official start of the Civil War as a Fort Sumter there as we look back. But even at the Battle of Bull Run, they still didn't think we're in the Civil War. It's not until a few years later that they officially declared it. But we had bleeding Kansas for 7 years there. We had all kinds of stuff that led up there to the Fort Sumter movement. You know,
Yeah,
World
but
War
I mean,
II, they didn't call it.
Well, I'm just gonna
The
say,
invasion of Poland as the official start of World War II, but we had the Rhineland invaded, Austria, the Sudetenland, Czechoslovakia there, and that's just on Germany's side, not including what Italy and Japan were doing.
sure, but we didn't. But with World War II, we didn't have. We had generally, standing armies, and I mean, and we fought on a few global fronts. But the thing is, with World War III, I know that it would be the war to end all wars, because then by that point, when you see the first, nuclear cloud, go up, then it's, all bets are off. So, just saying.
I would say this that the one thing that could trigger a semi World War III, a major one, is if we did talk about this earlier, but if China rolls the dice and invades Taiwan, that would be the official spark of a world war, which will be China versus U.S. And then not sure if Russia would get involved, but Russia and China are in an unofficial alliance unofficially, so that could be considered a world war if it's China, U.S. versus China versus Russia in an unofficial alliance. So they could be considered a World War III in that point. But then, like Mikey said, well, then by that point, Russia and the U.S. and to a much limited extent will launch nukes at each other, and then there goes bye-bye ourselves.
Oh yeah, there would be no at the point of what I'm talking about is that there would be no limited, because some people think there might be a limited nuclear exchange, and I'm going, no, limited is wrong. Limited will not work. Limited would never happen. If there's going to be a full-on exchange, we already know who the combatants are going to be. We already know what the fighting will be about. So I mean, and like you said, it's going to be not just global. It'll be economic. It'll be social. Basically socioeconomic. That's probably the best way to say it. And then you would have global. And then, of course, your countries would have to have the attitude of like, we don't give a shit if we kill 10 million people tomorrow with a few nuclear weapons. And, it's basically, it would come down to that. So, yeah.
I've been around the block enough times to know I don't think it's going to be so black and white. I really don't, guys.
But do you think it'll happen in your lifetime? Or let's just say PvP, God forbid if something happened to you in the next couple of years, do you think that we'd have a nuclear exchange happen?
I've never been that arrogant to forecast the future. I'm not Swami. I don't have a crystal ball.
And you're not Nostradamus, right?
I'm not Nostradamus. I will let people that claim to have those kind of intellectual powers to forecast the future. I do not go there. If I have an opinion, I try and base it on the facts I know in the current day and from history, which I love to learn history. I'm not thinking there's any incentive for a nuclear war anytime soon. And I'll tell you what, one of the major reasons I say that is all these global leaders that have their fingers on the button. Don't you think they realize if they start a global nuclear war and kill the whole fucking planet, they're going to be dead as well?
Yeah.
So maybe there's an incentive there for them not to.
Eden. Thanks for leaving me on the background around there. I hope you can come back and listen to the review.
Hey, Nemesis. Nice to see you.
The listen because it's been a good stream tonight.
Very good stream.
And my supper's still cooking, so we can stay on for a few extra minutes tonight.
Good.
My supper's still cooking.
I just wanted to finish my thought that.
Go ahead.
You know, it's just like, you know, I mean, we always think of global leaders as like these automatons or something. You know, these are people. They might be very powerful people. They might be very detached from real life and day-to-day life for us little people that we are, but they're still people, and they probably have families. They probably have friends. Even if they got the best bunker in the world where they can go, you know, save their ass when the fallout starts. You know, the nuclear radiation from a total global nuclear war is going to last for like 1,000 years.
Right.
So they're going to be living underground for a long fucking time. I think they're going to think twice before they push that. Now, all it takes was one fool, one idiot, one brainless moron to push the first button, and then the second, third, and fourth button might get pushed. That's my fear.
Sure. I think that we're very intelligent people because there's three key factors that say right now, because I asked about what would be a likelihood of a full-scale World War III, and it says right now being assessed as very low to virtually zero in the near future, despite the heightened geopolitical tensions. But there are three factors we all talked about. One, of course, is I believe Dan brought it up, was proxy conflict dynamics. That's one of those. The other one is nuclear deterrence. That's another one. And then military and economic constraints. That's where the economic comes in. Very good, Dan.
I agree, Dan, Mikey. That those are all valid factors in what will foretell days ahead. Obviously, I would agree with that. That's a good assessment. Very good assessment.
Yeah, and I would say this. And Mikey or Greta did say that, or people said it takes one idiot to press the button. But I will say this too: are we in a position that we will lose too much to not have a World War III? Because if we're in that position, odds are, I mean, like what Mikey said, it's very low, and it may not happen. But the question is, are we invested enough to not lose everything in a full-on war, or do we just not care enough to say, you know what, fuck it, life is useless or miserable? What the heck? Since we're all miserable, just press the button. We're all gone. See ya. Bye bye.
Right.
Well, I'm not a cynic, so I'm not a cynic or an optimist. I try to be a realist. So, you know, I don't look at it that way.
Outlaw Bill. Outlaw Bill.
We did see you, Bill.
Yeah.
We did see you.
We said hi to you, but welcome again. Welcome
we
back,
said
Outlaw Bill. Welcome back.
A while ago.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome. Let's catch up on chats real quick. We got another scary movie coming in a day or two. Cool. Tomorrow I'll be watching Disney's Pixar Hoppers on Disney Plus. Wow. I could save you a bunch of money there, Kevin, with some backroom, some high C sites. They're not really high C's; they're more like Tubi with ads. If you have an ad blocker, a wonderful site.
Tubi's
dogs
good.
And cats living together.
Mass hysteria.
Let's see. Hell, you beautiful things. I hope you're doing well tonight. Doing a flyby like you can't stay, but I'll be on the background. I'm my backup place. Well, I hope you liked your rewatch there because it's been a great stream. PvP, you want to read this one?
PvP has been around the block. Did he say Miss Honey on Vancouver? No, I've never said that on Vancouver street corners, even when I lived there.
Oh my god! Well,
No,
that is
no, in,
Warning, he lasted a long time.
in hindsight, 30 years ago, I might have been better off and got more girls if I had
Does,
done that.
does this mean lemon fruitcake pie citrus is getting more squeezably fresh?
He's getting too fresh for me.
Well, I do have a question. Does PvP know how to show? Well, I was saying, does PvP know how to show some leg on the corner to get some attention?
You don't want to see my leg. Maybe 30 years ago, you might have got horny,
Let's see,
but
don't forget
my leg is too old now.
God, no! Don't say that.
Oh God!
All right, so
What were you,
don't
some
forget
pin-up
to smash that like
supermodel at
button,
one
you
time?
legend. Thank you for that, Nemesis. Who is Nostril Dominus?
Thomas, just kidding. Oh, old man bird, you're funny.
Let's see, hey,
Lemon.
everybody say hello.
Nemesis.
And hello again, Outlaw Bill.
Hello.
Yes, Billy said hi before. Yeah, that's what I always thought is the people in power, they trigger world nuclear war. They won't survive. Heck, no one will. If you go underground in their bunker. No, it just takes one dumbass. And you gotta remember, there's an old George. You just gotta remember, there's an old George Carlin clip. Just think of how retarded the average person is, and just remember, half the people are more retarded than that.
And the scary thing is the Democrats prove that they're even lower than that intellectually.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, isn't it? The Democrats, I call it.
Can you imagine Camilla Harris? Can you imagine Camilla with the finger on the nuke button?
No, I'd take her out first. I don't want a woman to press the button.
Yeah, I just
maybe that's why we haven't had a woman president yet, because we'd have to change the fucking new codes 4 days out of the month.
There you go.
I know you'd be the. I know, Gorilla. You'd be the first to lead the rally of silverbacks against the Capitol, and
I was exactly thinking the same thing, Gorilla. By the way, though, Gorilla's got a point there. It only takes one.
Right.
It only takes one really stupid person to start the war.
Yeah, it does.
And that's the scary thing, because back when I was a kid, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, I was alive and I do remember it. And thank God we had Kennedy in the White House, who was a good enough leader to say, "You guys want to bring it on? Okay, bring it on and see what you're gonna get, boys." And of course, the Russians, crapped themselves and they backed off. Thank goodness.
Right.
But I remember the doomsday. There used to be. You guys ever remember the doomsday clock? Have you ever heard of the doomsday clock?
Yes.
Yeah, it was 5 minutes to midnight.
It was like 2 minutes to midnight during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh yeah, but I mean before that, it was 5 minutes.
We were almost there, and
we missed it by that much.
And I was like a little kid thinking, "Holy shit!"
You were 4 when that happened. But you were 4.
I was like 4 when I remember the Kennedy assassination. I remember
the Kennedy assassination was when you were 5.
I watched Walter Cronkite break down and sob on national television when he announced that the president of the United States was dead. And that was on the weekend. And my father loved Kennedy, by the way. He was a big fan of JFK. And I never forget my dad. We all watched it. I mean, that was the only thing on the TV for like 2 days, was JFK getting taken back to Washington, the casket, the funeral, the procession, Jacqueline, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it was, oh my God. I mean, if you don't have a heart, if that doesn't make your heart hurt to watch that shit. And man, oh man, I'll never forget my father I never saw my father cry at any other time in his life, but I remember him that day when they were having the funeral procession to the Arlington Cemetery to bury JFK. My father was in tears, and he was like, Why do they always have to kill the good ones? Why do they have to kill the good ones? And I was like, a little kid, and I still, all these years later, I remember my dad saying that day when we were watching, our old
Yeah.
black and white TV. And it's like, it's like when you live through these huge events in history, you never forget them. You never forget them. It's like if I'd been one of the survivors on the Titanic, I would remember that too, right? You know what I'm saying, guys? It's like you don't forget when a major event happens.
Well, we did say before you were 263 years old, so.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
423.
Yeah,
423? Oh, that's right. I
Don't
see
forget
that.
our chat.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I remember, when I
So that was needed.
when I told George Washington not to get those wooden teeth, he didn't listen to me.
So Nemesis Eden hasn't revealed the source for the name. My guess it's his male stripper name. Sure, we'll go with that.
I'll go with that.
Oh, well, Bill, I'll pray for you per your request at other stream. Did I miss something? What's going on, Bill?
Yeah, what happened there, Bill?
Well,
I
we
pray
always
they
pray
are
for
not
that,
that
Daniel.
stupid.
I don't need anybody. I don't know what he's talking about.
And,
But anyway.
So, Scurvy here, there, put Nemesis in there. Thank you.
Yeah,
If anybody
you
wants
go.
to put their links in, feel free to. If anybody
Okay,
wants to put their
good.
links in that has a ranch,
Ah.
laughing my fucking ass off. And we got Nemesis a subscriber. Thank you, Kevin, for subscribing to Nemesis.
Thank you, Kevin.
And I heard about the Doomsday Clock, but yeah, that's been around for years.
Oh, it's been there.
Kevin, awesome. You're going to enjoy it there on Nemesis channel. Yeah, it's pretty fun when I can swing in. PvP is on a sinking ship. It's called the HMS Canada.
I would agree with you.
You, George Washington, had wooden teeth? Yeah, well, that's what happens when you need dentures there, Daniels. And
Daniel, we need to put you back in school. I thought you already knew that.
Yeah, Washington had terrible teeth.
Oh, so did Lincoln.
So do I. All great leaders, all great people have bad teeth. It'd be Washington, Lincoln, and myself.
So you're putting yourself in the classification of great leaders.
Well, he is going to lead the rally to take over the White House.
Hey, he said it. He said it. I didn't.
Nah, there's too many skeletons in my closet. I'd prefer to remain buried.
Yes, I also heard that George Washington was a slave owner. Yeah, so was Thomas Jefferson.
So was John Adams. So was Thomas Jefferson.
John Adams.
So was there's a lot of slave owners.
Yo.
Well, yeah, a lot back then. A lot of the original founding fathers were slave owners. That was not an uncommon thing back then, Daniel.
Sure.
You have to, Daniel. Read history, learn from history. It's not like today when it's like, oh, everybody's peachy keen and everything's perfect and nobody does nothing to nobody. It's like, no, there was people that owned slaves, and there were lots of shit going on. But this was in the 1776 or whatever when we got, when was this? The Revolutionary War? I can't remember. But hey. Okay. Sorry, Dan. Go.
It was 1775 to 1771 when the fighting, and then we signed the treaty with Britain in 1783. The Treaty of Paris, I think it was called or something.
Okay, good. Thank you, man. Thank you.
And hey, Larry. Hey, Larry.
Hey, Larry.
Larry's here.
Ivory teeth.
Larry's on the way home. I'll probably be asleep by that time, Larry. So I hope you do understand. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, no, he had ivory teeth. Well, I've always heard wooden, but Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, so I think those two would be opposed. Not necessarily the only reason Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves was so they could get more manpower. It was more of a stick to the South there because
I
because he
think
did not free
Daniel.
all slaves. He only freed slaves. But if you read the Emancipation Proclamation there, he only
Proclamation.
freed slaves. Yeah, he only freed slaves in states that were rebelling against the Union. We had 4 slave states on the Union side there. Those slaves weren't freed. They eventually just came to consensus all slaves were freed at the end of the thing there. But it's only in states that were rebelling.
Yeah. He was just adding more manpower to the already, swelling ranks.
Yeah,
It was
so anyhow,
the proclamation
Larry
was
put
more
his
of a
channel
rally.
in there.
Yeah.
But the movie's over on way home. Well, what movie did you go to?
He went to see Goonies because his
Yeah,
son
Larry.
Tyler has not seen Goonies in his lifetime, and they were replaying it. I guess there's an anniversary.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha. So was my great grandfather too. Oh, what's he talking about? For
I'm not sure.
all right,
I doubt his great
but I think
grandfather was
we got to
at the
wrap this up.
theater
My
today.
supper's gonna be ready in 15. All right, I want to start wrapping
15?
this up though because my supper will be ready in 15 minutes.
Okay.
So
All right.
I want to thank everybody for being here. Here, it's been a fun stream, educational stream, argumentative stream. There, I want to start with Mikey. Mikey, what do you got going on?
Well, according to the results, everybody wanted me to do another pop culture show reviews, and starting this Saturday and Sundays during the weekends, we'll be doing Charlie's Angels. We'll start with the first season and go on from there. 5 seasons worth. Also, we have good news about Suzanne. Suzanne's going to go and have her right knee finally worked on. July 7th is the day she has the surgery. So
That's
make sure
great.
everybody gives some prayers.
Take a look at what Be Yourself said, Mikey.
Yeah, he says, call me tomorrow, Mike, please. I might call you, Larry, okay? Don't worry. I'll call you sometime this week. It's okay.
Be prepared to have Suzanne hobbling around for 4 months there, Mike.
Yeah, from 2 to 4 months. That's what I heard.
Well, I have a coworker that had both knees replaced, and she was 4 months on each of them.
Well, no, she's right now, the more serious knee is her right knee. When she gets that worked on and done, and we go through the 2 to 4 month period of time frame, which I'll be helping her all the time with, then we'll get to her left knee. Her left knee is not quite as bad as the right one. The right one is the worst one right now. So,
well, Mikey, well then you better used to going outside doing the shopping 24/7 then.
I'll have to be doing shopping. I have no choice. So.
Mikey will be putting on his maid costume and
maid costume
dusting around the perimeter.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and that will turn on Suzanne even more, saying, "Hey, my husband's doing my work for me. Thanks, honey."
You be careful though; she's going to get used to that, and then she'll think, "Oh, bring me my supper, Mikey."
All right, Cynthia, what you got going on?
All right, to everyone on the panel and in the chat that knows me, don't knows me. I'm the sci-fi historian. I cover different sci-fi TV shows or movies. I do cover other sci-fi franchises, lore, characters, and ships and all that. Check out my channel as well. I do my watch parties usually on Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific time with my co-host, but sadly he's unable to do them nowadays, so I'm going to be doing those solo on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I do my weekend live streams usually on Saturdays between 2 and 4 p.m. Pacific time. I try to upload a new video on my old channel, on this channel towards the end of the pre-circuit and the beginning of next week. And I do have another channel called Ultimate Sorcerer Dan. That one I cover Japanese anime and cartoons in general. And right now we're in season 4 of Shield Hero. And the watch party's there on Fridays, 8 p.m. Pacific time. You should after Will's Walton streams. And I usually do that with my co-host. He's up for that. And beyond that, every new watcher and watchmaker system will make more content for you, so he'll make a few dollars off YouTube and help PvP with his own little promotion. Tell us about your music, your favorite artists, but try to keep it short. And if you want people to subscribe to your channel, PvP.
Yeah, well, not much going on my channel lately. I did just post a link in the public chat a second ago there. So if you want to click on my channel, it's right there. Tons of stuff, tons of stuff. Albums, videos, stuff from the mid 50s to the mid 90s, basically. Mostly 60s, 70s, 80s would be the main thing, I guess. But there's a lot. There's thousands of hours of content there if you're a music lover. So just go on my channel and just roam around and see what you can find, and I'm sure you'll find something quite soon that you actually enjoy. So yeah, I haven't had anything in a while, but one of these days I will get off my lazy backside and do something. So anyway, that's about it. I'll keep it short.
All right, before I promote myself, goes, hey, you guys. Oh, you're talking about slaves. Okay, it's great. Talk about with the slaves. Okay, gotcha. Hey, Mike, I'm going to be out. Okay, everybody's putting their channels in there, and he's saying hello, 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 hello. All right, so as for me, looks like we'll be reviewing Full Metal Jacket on Thursday. There will be no Walton stream Friday. But Sunday we might be able to do a DS9 review or a Silverback Lodge, depending on what time I get home. So, next Tuesday we'll have another Silverback Lodge. So with that, thank you everyone for being here, and remember to be a gorilla.
Night.